Good morning. We're going to be doing lecture 6.1 this morning. Okay, we're learning about percents and decimals and fractions and how to convert back and forth between them. So we know that percent means parts per 100. So 25% would mean 25 out of 100. So that's saying 25% of the population is over the age of 60. Well, that means that 25 out of every 100 people would be over the age of 60. Okay, so that means that 25% means 25 divided by 100, 25 100ths. Okay, and that, if we simplify it, is 1/4. So that's saying that 25% means 1/4 of the population. How do we use percent in real life? Discounts, 30% off. News statistics, 17% of voters are still undecided about who they will vote for. Great, you got a 90% on the last test, which gives you which is 35% of your grade. Sorry, didn't read it well. Okay, so those are just a couple of ways we use percentages. You get them a lot these days. Okay, to change a percent to a fraction, sorry, let me get it up so you can see me while I'm talking this part. To a fraction, drop the percent sign. Okay, you're going to drop the percent sign and then put the given number over 100. Then you're simply going to reduce that fraction. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down so you're going to be looking at the ceiling so I can write on it. 20% is going to be written as 20 over 100. That's how we get rid of the percent sign. Now we rewrite this factored. There we go. So I can get rid of the tens. Now I have 2 over 10, but 10 can be written as 2 times 5. Don't forget you still have a 1 on the top. So my answer is 1/5. All right, 17 becomes 17 over 100. Well, that one's finished. You can't do anything with that because 17 is prime, so it won't reduce anything. I'm not sure why I have the squiggle on the paper, but that's okay. 92% is 92 over 100. But I see they're both divisible by 2, so that gives me 46 over 50. Now, for those of you who are a little dicey on what I just did, I basically just divided both of them by 2. All right, now I see these are still both even, so again, I can divide them by 2. So this is going to equal 23 over 25. Now these have no common factors, so I can't reduce it any further. Now 33.3 over 100. Well, I need that to get rid of the decimal. So the only way I can do that is to multiply by 10, which moves that decimal. But I have to do it on the top and the bottom. So now I have 333 over 1,000, and that's my final answer. All right, over here, number 5, 66 2/3. Well, I'm going to create a mixed number. So I have 3, and I multiply it by 66. I get 196. Nope, I get 198. Apologies. That's an 8. All right, and then I add the 2, put it over the original denominator. So I have 200 over 3. Sorry, that 3 is not nice looking. And those won't simplify any further. 3 again is prime and does not go into 200. Okay, let's look at this last one, 83 1/3. Well, again, I take the 3 times the 83. I get 240 plus 9. 249 plus the 1, don't forget I have to add that 1 in, over 3. So I get 250 over 3. Now I can't factor this at all because 250 is 5 times 5. That's the 25 times 100. And none of those are divisible by 3. Or times 10. None of those are divisible by 3. So this would be my final answer. Okay, let's next one. Now we're going to go changing percent into decimal. Okay, so this is dividing by, change the percent to decimal, drop the percent sign, and divide by 100, which merely means to move the decimal point 2 places to the left because you're dividing by 100. So if I have 25 over 100, this becomes 0.25 as a decimal. Okay, same thing with 13.5. If I put that over 100, I move this decimal 2 places. Apologies. So this gives me 0.135. So all it wants is the decimal. So we can do this just by looking at it. This 35 has a decimal place right there. I move it twice. I get 0.35 for the decimal. 1.3, I have to move it 2 places, so I'm going to have a 0 here. So it's 0.0135. Just by moving this the decimal place. Here's a decimal place. I go 1, 2. I have 1.50. All right, 1, 2. There's going to be another 0 here. 2 zeros and a 7. And there, we're done. That's not too bad. Because with decimals, it actually ends up working really well. Changing decimal to percent. So we're going the other way. Well, all we're going to do is move the decimal place the other direction. Okay, because going from decimal to percent, the number is going to get bigger. So I move it 1, 2, I have 34%. I move it 1, 2, I have 4%. 1, 2, remember there's an extra 0 there, I have 150%. 1, 2, 0.3%. 1, 2, 5.4%. 1, 2, remember there's a 0, so that's 70%. And we're done. Okay, these are pretty easy. And it's these that are a pain because they're fractions, and fractions are always a little more difficult. All right, so change the fraction to a decimal by doing the division. You're dividing the numerator by the denominator. All right, then you change the decimal to a percent by multiplying by 100. So let's see how this works. The numerator divided by the denominator doesn't go, so I have to place a decimal place, and I have a 0. So 5 goes into 30 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. I subtract and get 0. So that's it. My answer is 0.6. I move my decimal 2 places. I have 60%. Okay? Here we have 3 divided by 4. Place our decimal. Add the 0. 4 goes into 37 times. That's 28. Do the subtraction. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So 3/4 is 0.75. As a percentage, we move our decimal 2 places. We have 75%. All right, our last one on the top row, 1 divided by 3. Doesn't go, we put our decimal place. 3 goes into 10 3 times, that's a 9. And then we subtract and we get a 1. Bring down the 0, 3 goes into 10 3 times, that's a 9. I subtract, I get, well, this is going to go on forever. So we put a bar across the top, and then we round. This is going to be 33.3%. Remember, we move our decimal 2 places. Okay, not too awful here. I need to go back and box my answers. All right, number 4. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm still here, even though I'm barely, you can just see my eyes. All right, 5 divided by 6. Doesn't go, put down the decimal place, 50. 6 goes into 58 times, that's 48. Subtract, I'd already done it in my head, so that's why I wrote the 2. So it's 2. Bring down the 0. 6 goes into 23 times, 18, 2. Go 3 times. Okay, looks like we're going to be repeating this forever. So, if I write it as a percentage, I have 83.3% by rounding it. All right, 2/7. 2 divided by 7. 7 goes into 20 twice, that's 14. Subtract, I get 6. Bring down the 0. 7 goes into 68 times, that's 56. Subtract, I get a 4. Bring down a 0. 7 goes into 40. 5 times, that's 35. Subtract, I get a 5. Okay, it doesn't look like this is going to be, it looks like it's going to keep on going. So, this is a 7. Go for 4 places so you can round. So this 7, because that was a 40, that's a 50, and 49 goes into 50. Okay, so that's a 7, so it's going to round up. So our answer is going to be 28.6%. Okay, unfortunately, it looks like I've been scribbling all over my paper. 1 and 2/5. The easiest way is just go ahead and do out the fraction. So 2 divide 5. Okay, it goes in 4 times. That's 20. We subtract, we have 0. We're done. So it's 0.4. And add the whole number. So it's 1.4, but I have to move it twice, the decimal place. So I'm going to get 140%. All right. And we're done.